Now, Stormwatch 12 weather with meteorologist Josh Culbreth.
Welcome back to Newswatch 12 this morning, and we're observing some very gray skies this morning along the coast in Curry County, partly because of some fog and partly because of some of the smoke that we're seeing from the flat fire. You can see that visibility has been reduced down to a quarter of a statute mile in Gold Beach, and it's like that for most of the coast of Curry County, so just please take it very slow on the US 101 corridor. For this morning, we're seeing 30s, 40s, and 50s to the east of the Cascades, but 50s and 60s for our west side valleys, a little bit cooler along the coast in Curry County. So maybe you need a very light jacket as you're walking out the front door this morning, but a little bit later today, definitely t-shirt and shorts weather out there for inland spots, as we'll be pretty close to 100 degrees again for the west side valleys. So in light of that, your outdoor dining forecast, I'm actually just going to go with 2 stars for both lunch and dinner. It's just going to be too warm, but more than that, the air quality is going to be pretty lousy today, especially for Curry County, Jackson County, and Josephine County, which is where we have the air quality advisory that is in place until 5 p.m. on Saturday. So for today, very hot and very smoky, obviously, but back to the heat. We'll have mid-90s to the east of the Cascades, near triple digits for our west side valleys, and much cooler along the coast in Curry County. And winds today will gust out of the north and west to the west of the Cascades and out of the southwest to the east of the Cascades, and they'll gust between 20 to 30 miles per hour. And then for tonight, it's going to be pretty widespread smoke, but if you can look past that, well, the skies will be clear of clouds, and overnight lows will be pretty comfortable. We'll be in the low to mid 50s to the east of the Cascades, middle 60s for our west side valleys, and middle 50s along the coast in Curry County. We'll take it back to the Rogue Valley for this weekend, where we'll start to trend a little bit cooler, but it's still going to be hot. It's still going to be dry. Winds are going to start to pick up, and that'll bode not very well for our fire weather impacts, and more on that in a second. But we have smoke model data that goes out to Saturday, but not to Sunday, so that's why we're going with haze for Saturday's forecast. We know that some of the smoke will start to thin out a bit, but it's still up in the air what's going to happen to the air quality on Sunday, but I would bank on some sort of reductions to the air quality. Temperature is a little bit cooler in the next week, but still hot and dry, and like I mentioned, we'll have some winds that'll combine with all that, making critical fire weather impacts from Saturday to Tuesday, with the emphasis being on Sunday now, because that's when we'll have the best combination of hot, dry, and windy conditions. So fires could start and spread very rapidly. Here's the 7-day forecast for the coast. Smokier today as opposed to tomorrow, with winds picking up coming out of the west. That's going to thin out a lot of the smoke, and we'll see the same pattern for Siskiyou County. It'll be a lot smokier today as opposed to Saturday, and then for the Klamath Basin, really the same thing. But just peep how dry we're going to be over the next 7 days. Not even really a whole lot in the way of clouds in the forecast, let alone any rain. And then the same thing for the mountains. So just very warm, very dry, and some reductions in air quality at the very least through the next 48 hours. But a lot of that will hinge on the containment of the flat fire.